Referee Benjamin sprints over to A.J. Bartley for Antigua and Barbuda, who needs some attention. Seems to be perhaps a bit of cramp just nearing the end of the first half, and we almost right on cue, a couple of the Antiguan players take the opportunity to rest their legs. And in all fairness, two of them, indulging in that bit of rest, have been doing a quite fair share of running for Antigua and Barbuda in the form of the number 11, Shumba Thomas, playing along this right-hand side, near side, and of course the captain, Shamar Walters, who opened scoring in today's encounter. Meanwhile, Bartley is back on his feet. He'll need to exit the field of play to continue treatment before he's allowed to return. And referee Benjamin now whistles for continuation of play with a goal kick to Antigua and Barbuda, taken by Griffith. Tasha was underneath it. Not so much of an effective clearance, but here they are now, Guyana trying to bring it under possession. It's given away though. And here now is Walters to aim it toward Thomas, well defended by Jaden Noble for Guyana. Out for a throw-in to the team in green. Meanwhile, Bartley is being allowed to re-enter play, so back to full strength Antigua and Barbuda, and immediately Bartley is over to take charge of the throw-in. Thomas is ahead of him, goes after it now, but again cleared away by Bunton for Guyana. And it's going to be another throw-in further along for Antigua. Bartley has Thomas ahead of him, and just on the inside is Walters and Rogerson, but so too is Karik Joseph, who was the eventual target of the throw-in. And here now is James, using his muscle, illegally so according to referee Benjamin. And that is the halftime whistle in this Group A encounter of Tier 2 in the Caribbean Football Union's Under-14 Challenge Series. At halftime, with goals from their captain Shamar Walters and Luke Harney Rogerson, it's Antigua 2 and Guyana 1. Guyana's solitary first half item scored by number 9, Mark Glasgow. And so it stands at the Larry Gomes Stadium at halftime. Group A, Tier 2 between Antigua and Barbuda and Guyana. Antigua and Barbuda 2, Guyana 1. Welcome back to the Larry Gomes Stadium in East Trinidad, Arima to be exact, for the start of second half action in this opening match of the Caribbean Football Union's Under-14 Challenge Series between Antigua and Barbuda and Guyana. The team with the touch-off, Antigua, currently holds a 2-1 lead over their opponents, and quite early on, intent on making it a 2-goal cushion. With that high press which they started or implemented so early on in the second half. Guyana, meanwhile, having trailed twice in the match so far, will be aiming to pull themselves back onto level footing for a second time. Comes Antigua and Barbuda through Joshua James. That attack was cut short. Instead, this is Antigua and Barbuda through Harney Rogerson, one of their goal scorers in the first half. This is a long free kick looking towards James, and he gets through, but he's felled just on the edge of the penalty area. It seems high boot or dangerous boot that time from the Guyana defender. As we look at the replay, the guilty man that time, Ezekiel Douglas for Guyana, conceding a free kick, and he goes into the referee Kareem Benjamin's book. The first infringement requiring referee Benjamin to take a name in his little black book. And the name that time, Ezekiel Douglas. Antigua and Barbuda have two lined up over this free kick, one of them being Shumba Thomas, the other just to his right, Hakeem Musa. It's going to be Thomas. He gets it over the wall. Good shape on it. But in the end, Ezekiel Jackman in goal for Guyana didn't seem too bothered, seemed to have his angles covered as it zipped past his near post. So a bit of a change perhaps in dead ball duty for Antigua and Barbuda. The man from that sort of range and position in the first half for them was Jadante Griffith, at that time leaving it to Thomas, who didn't do too badly at all in trying to just bend that one into the upper left-hand corner. In the meantime, this is a free kick on the far side for Guyana. Trying to play it forward was Jaden Noble, but referee Benjamin deems him a bit too hasty. He'll have a second chance. And it's played in towards the feet of Fares Noble, but he can't quite bring it under control. And still, though, it's Guyana able to come forward. That time through Damani Hardy, but well defended. Good skill that time by Harney Rogerson. fouled. He's interested in taking the free kick himself. But instead he'll leave it to Musa. On his left foot. It gets all the way through to Thomas and he flicks it on toward now Samuel. Samuel tries to go around his man. That is Jaden Noble. He uses his physicality to get effect to earn the throw-in for Guyana. Gets it up now to Nyron Barrow. Shields it and then plays it off of A.J. Bartley and allows Guyana to inch forward again along that far side before eventually turning back over possession. This is Samuel. Gets past his man. But then a bit too hands-on according to referee Benjamin. Concedes the free kick to Guyana. So just approaching 6 minutes played in the second half here at the Larry Gomes Stadium in Arima. Antigua and Barbuda with a slender lead so far. All 3 goals in this match scored in the first half. 2 to Antigua, 1 by Guyana, as the Guyanese kept that one in before Hani Rogerson plays it out for a throw-in. He's being warned for time wasting. A wry smile on the young, diminutive number 10 for Antigua and Barbuda. Here now comes Guyana again, and that ball seemed to creep out of play. Spotted by the assistant referee on this near side, Michaela O'Dane. Throw into Antigua and Barbuda, and there's Walters just using his strength to outmuscle the Guyana defense and earn his team a throw-in on this near side. Up to handle matters is Hakeem Musa. And just to bring you up to speed on some housekeeping, Antigua and Barbuda seemed to have made 1 change at the break. In is Ethan Camacho. And he is in the number 13 shirt. As we see this now, a free kick for Antigua and Barbuda. 6 players showing interest inside the Guyana penalty area. One of them, goal scorer and Captain Walters. Among those also in attendance, Thomas, Camacho. This is floated in nicely by Hani Rogerson, but just a bit too much on it for Joshua James on the back post. As we have another look. Good shape, good whip. Just a bit too much meat on it. In the meantime, Guyana will take the stoppage opportunity to make 2 substitutions. The players coming out are Barrow, Nyron Barrow, and Damani Hardy. The players entering the field of play for Guyana, Jaden Christian, as well as Akil Young. So Jaden Christian, number 15, and Akil Young are in. The players out, Nyron Barrow, number 7, and Damani Hardy, number 11. bit of a ping pong battle. Those last couple of exchanges before Walters is able to win possession for Antigua Barbuda. It's a good-looking ball in towards Joshua James. But Ezekiel Jackman was right where he needed to be, right when he needed to be to make the collection. And it's Guyana coming the other way before it's eventually cleared away by Antigua and Barbuda. Only as far as Tasha. He has one ahead of him. This is the new man, Christian. He tries to take his man on. Unsuccessful the first time of asking, but he's still in possession. Gets it back to Tasha, who tries to slip it through. But it's back now with Guyana. Played forward that time by Solomon. And Antigua and Barbuda win back possession. This is Samuel giving chase, unable to keep it in. It's going to be a throw into Guyana. And Antigua and Barbuda will make one more change. The player leaving the field is Roshane Samuel, and number 12. And in comes number 7, Mario Lewis. So once again, substitution once again for Antigua and Barbuda. Out is number 12, Roshane Samuel. In is number 7, Mario Lewis. In the meantime, this is a free kick to Antigua and Barbuda, back in attendance. As we saw on quite a few occasions in the first half, Jadante Griffith, with that solid technique, he doesn't go for too much power. Very short run-up. Just tries to strike it as cleanly as possible. That time, unable to keep it down as it soared over bar for a Guyana goal kick. This is Mario Lewis getting his first bit of action, having to work hard on the defensive end. Meantime, though, this is Guyana coming, attacking along the left. The player just getting himself mixed up that time. Akil Young. But it's still going to be a throw-in to Guyana. Approaching 13 minutes played in the second half. Still Antigua and Barbuda holding on to the narrow 2-1 lead. Here they are now through Lewis. Gets this one infield to Thomas. Camacho now picks it up. Tries to bring Bartley into the mix before referee Benjamin spots a foul and awards a free kick to Antigua and Barbuda. They seem to be in no real hurry, no real urgency, as they already lead in this one, 2-1. So just taking the opportunity to slow to a tempo of their liking. This one is going to be taken by Thomas. Shumba Thomas, he floats it in. Walters is there, so too is Joshua James. He's the man that gets his head onto it, flicks it into the corner, and that's goal number 3 for Antigua and Barbuda. In fact, it's going to be ruled out for offside. Referee Benjamin alert to something that most of us may have missed. So the scores remain 2-1 in favor of Antigua and Barbuda. Throw in here, they are again now. Jackman comes out bravely to claim. And this is Guyana trying to bring it away along the left through Jaden Noble. Just runs out of real estate, runs it straight out of play. Antigua Barbuda, they are in possession now. This is Musa trying to pick out Walters, unable to do so. Guyana bring it the other way again. Tasha battling away for possession. The through ball, just a bit too much on it. And it goes harmlessly through to Mackay Phillip in goal for Antigua and Barbuda. He's going to just lump this one forward. Missed at the first time of asking by the Guyana's back line. Picked up by Rogerson, but his through ball intended for James found the number 9 in an offside position. And at that juncture, the Antigua and Barbuda technical staff take the opportunity to make a tactical adjustment, asking James now to come out to this left-hand side, while it's Walters moving a bit more centrally. This is Hani Rogerson now. Thomas, back to Hani Rogerson. This is neat. This is James. James is through. He has a shot low with his left foot. Well saved by Jackman, and now it's back with Walters. Looking good in the build-up here. Antigua and Barbuda, they'll have a third attempt. The man coming forward that time, Camacho. His shot is wide of the mark. So Antigua and Barbuda with some excellent interplay. That time unable to get the just rewards. As we see the player down for Guyana is Jaden Noble. He's going to require some treatment. As we see a huddle of concerned teammates around him. As well as the medical personnel. Noble is helped back onto his feet now. Rather gingerly so, but all's well that ends well. As he's being escorted off to the side of the pitch now for further treatment. And the players, under the direction of referee Benjamin, take the opportunity for the second half cooling break. The conditions here at the Larry Gomes Stadium in Arima, Trinidad, quite sweltering in this mid-afternoon period. Not too much cloud cover ahead or above. And while there is a nice breeze making its way across the field, as can be seen by the swishing of the players' uniforms, not enough to prevent a mandatory cooling break when the conditions are above a certain temperature. And so they take their opportunity for refreshment as well as recalibration via some tactical instruction. If you're just joining, this is Group A action, Tier 2 of the Caribbean Football Union's Under-14 Challenge Series. Here at the Larry Gomes Stadium in Arima. Currently, Antigua and Barbuda in the lead. 2-1 over Guyana. Goals scored in the first half from as early as the second minute by Antigua and Barbuda through their captain, number 8, Shamar Walters. Guyana able to pull themselves back into the mix with a goal scored by number 9, Mark Glasgow. And that came in the 15th minute before Antigua and Barbuda assumed a one-goal lead once more with a well-taken strike from the right boot of their number 10, Luke Harney Rogerson, in the 22nd minute, that is. So all 3 goals scored within a 22-minute span of the first half for things to stand as they currently do. Antigua 2, Guyana 1. Meanwhile, play has resumed and a yellow card is shown to the Guyanese captain for a show of dissent. And at this level, it's good to see the passion in the players, but it's never ever good to see dissent and quite obvious and visual disagreement to the decisions of the match officials. So that time, Tasha goes into the book of referee Benjamin, and this is a free kick floated in over the top, but no Antiguan player with the legs or the alertness, for that matter, to get onto the end of it. Goal kick to Guyana, and they played out from the back, running into trouble there. And it's with Musa in now toward Thomas. Good skill, back to Musa. This is Camacho. Ahead of him is Joshua James. He blows past his man, but is fouled in the process. So, free kick to Antigua and Barbuda. Over comes goal scorer Luke Harney Rogerson. Good looking ball in. The heads go up, but it's repelled by Guyana. Still can't quite get it clear. And Tasha does so now. They win back possession quite effectively, Antigua and Barbuda, before giving it away again. The man away now is Mark Glasgow, the goal scorer for Guyana. He's through. He's into the area. Just a heavy touch, allowing Mackay Phillip to claim cleanly. So Mark Glasgow kept quite quiet for much of this second half so far before bursting into life. That time, as we see the replay, the ball cheaply given away, and Glasgow onto it in a flash, blows past his man Jamil Thomas, but just too much on that final touch, taking it away from him and in favor of Mackay Phillip in goal for Antigua and Barbuda, able to make the save before he was fouled. And he is the man under the careful watch of the medical staff from Antigua and Barbuda. And we see the old reliable magic spray being applied to the left shoulder, it appears, of Mackay Phillip. Perhaps a bit of sport rub. Just like that. And with a switch of cold water, Phillip is patched up and ready to go once more for Antigua and Barbuda. Free kick then to the team in black. unable to just quite clear until the intervention of Isaac Taylor for Guyana. And here they come. This is a good ball through toward Walters. Jackman is off his line in a hurry. Does quite just enough to aid in the effort to get this ball clear. But in failing to do so quickly enough, Guyana forced into committing a foul. The man that time, Kevin Bunton. And so it's going to be yet another free kick for Antigua and Barbuda. Shumba Thomas is interested. So too, it seems, is the regular specialist, Chedante Griffith. Jackman, meanwhile, sets his wall for protection. There's going to be a change in kicker as Griffith retreats and overcomes Joshua James by his angling and positioning. He may favor his left foot to wrap this one around the wall. Instead, just clips it in towards the back post, and up goes Bartley all alone. He seemed to mistime his jump and was on his way down as the ball arrived, unable to get any purchase on it and direct it as he would have liked. In the meantime, a substitution here by Antigua and Barbuda. Off comes the man that has them in this 2-1 lead, Luke Harney Rogerson, to be replaced by number 16, Alan Henry. So it's a like-for-like substitution. By Antigua and Barbuda. And Guyana just in a period of cheaply giving possession away, very indecisive defensively, and in attack unable to just quite link their play as efficiently or as fluently as the situation requires. Of course, they trail 2-1. Here now they come through Fares Noble. This is a good-looking ball towards Glasgow. He has the speed, but not enough to beat Philip to it. His clearance lands to the feet of Thomas, who relays it to Bartley, and his ball forward just a bit too much for Mario Lewis. Instead, Guyana comes the other way. Well defended there by Griffith. Quick throw in. Glasgow is given the attention of 3 defenders. Such is the danger that he poses to this Antigua and Barbuda backline, and this Antigua and Barbuda lead. He earns his team a free kick. To be taken now, floated in quite aimlessly in the end. Doesn't trouble Mackay Phillip in goal for Antigua and Barbuda. That was Bunton with the free kick. Wasted opportunity, one might say, as they continue to chase this game, trailing 2-1 Guyana. This is going to be a throw-in. In the meantime, for Antigua and Barbuda. Forward comes Hakeem Musa. Ahead of him is Joshua James. And unable to make anything out of the situation. Goal kick to Guyana. Played short towards Tasha, but he's immediately closed down by the substitute, Henry. Good composed play by Guyana that time between Taylor and Douglas before it's eventually, or rather Taylor and Noble, before it's eventually turned over again and once again forced into committing a foul. Guyana. Free kick to Antigua and Barbuda, clipped in by Bartley. Not quite clear just yet. It's back to Bartley. And then it's forcefully cleared away by Bunton for Guyana. Another change here being made by Antigua and Barbuda. And the man whose afternoon is over seems to be Joshua James, replaced by Thorne Brathwaite Jr. Here is Brathwaite Jr. linking nicely already with Walters. Walters puts on the afterburners. He's in. Good cut back toward Thomas and somehow unable to direct it on target. In fact, the man that time was Henry. Good stuff by Walters. As you see, he just left his defender in his wake, cut it back right towards the penalty area, and somehow Henry unable to direct it goalward. And should they be made to pay for that chance, Henry will have perhaps a sleepless night here on day one of this CFU Under-14 Challenge Series. So still Antigua and Barbuda with a slim 2-1 lead. And Guyana just can't quite ease the pressure being applied as Antigua and Barbuda continue to search for something more. This free kick is played short from Musa to Thomas. Well defended, and here comes Guyana now. The man trying to get the beating of his defender was Chesney. And here comes Antigua and Barbuda once again through Walters, just trying to bulldoze his way through. At that time, a touch too heavy allowed Ezekiel Jackman to claim. And now it's going to be another throw in here for Guyana. Glasgow has support, surrounded by, again, 3 Antigua and Barbuda defenders. Tasha with some urgency now, just trying to will his team further upfield. 3 throw-ins in a row, all aimed at Glasgow, their goal scorer. It's cleared away by Antigua and Barbuda. And here they are again, Guyana just trying their very best to make something happen, sensing perhaps that time is running out. At that time, Glasgow infringed, allowing for some breathing time for this Antigua and Barbuda unit. Meanwhile, our 4th official, Ariel Rodriguez, displays 4 minutes to be added on at the end of regulation. 4 minutes of added on time. To be added at the end of regulation. And at this level, just a reminder, they play 35 minutes per half. 70 minutes in total. Antigua and Barbuda, this time Shumba Thomas interested in the long chase, but he's flagged for offside by the far side official, Javier Burgos. Guyana with some defending, diligently doing his duty that time. Isaac Taylor, this is Bunton, aiming over the top for Jaden Christian, and he had straight offside. It was quite apparent almost from the moment it was played. And with time steadily ticking away, can Guyana find something that would earn themselves at least a point from this opening affair in Group A of Tier 2 in the CFU Under 14 Challenge Series? Or can Antigua and Barbuda extend the lead? That seems to be the more likely occurrence as they are back in position. Here now, Antigua and Barbuda. This is Thomas. Ooh, good skill. Clips it over the top. Well defended by Guyana. Still interested, Antigua. And before it's poked away for a goal kick. So Antigua and Barbuda for almost the entirety of this match able to sustain a pretty high press against their opponents, asking them to take risks such as this, playing out from the back. And oftentimes they just turn possession over similarly to the way that they just did. Antigua and Barbuda again has to do some defending here. This is Ferez Noble for Guyana. It's cleared away. Falls to Mario Lewis, and well defended again by Isaac Taylor, but he runs himself into trouble and again is forced into committing the foul. Raises his hands in frustration and should be careful because referee Kareem Benjamin has shown that he's not willing to tolerate too much remonstration from these young players. Free kick now played in, defended by Guyana, and Bunton's looking for Glasgow. Does he have the legs? Doesn't quite seem to, as it runs out of play. Referee Benjamin could bring this to a close any moment now as he looks at his watch. Antigua and Barbuda still trying to get something out of it. This is the man in the thick of it that time, Brathwaite Jr., able to once again squeeze another free kick out of Guyana, as into referee Benjamin's book goes Simon Solomon for the latest infringement. It's going to be a free kick just inside the opponent's half. Referee Benjamin whistles for play to continue. And it's still there or thereabouts for Antigua and Barbuda before referee Benjamin brings proceedings to a close to signal the end of play in Game 1 of the CFU Under-14 Challenge Series here from the Larry Gomes Stadium. Final score, it's Antigua and Barbuda 2, Guyana 1. Goals scored by Antigua and Barbuda by their captain, number 8, Shamar Walters, in the 2nd minute, before Guyana equalized through Mark Glasgow in the 15th. Antigua and Barbuda regaining the lead for the second and final time in the match through Luke Harney Rogerson. And that's the way it stayed all the way through from the minute 22 through to minute 70. Full-time score from the Larry Gomes Stadium. Once again, Antigua 2, Guyana 1. Alright, so give me the price you was giving me. If I still want to get the travel kit now, how much would it be the total? So just a jersey and a travel kit. So we would have just witnessed Antigua and Barbuda. This was their second goal to assume a 2-1 lead, and the eventual player of the match, Luke Harney Rogerson, with that goal. Here they earned a free kick just on the edge of the Guyana penalty area in the second half. That time though, Shumba Thomas unable to guide it on target. Then we saw Harney Rogerson with the free kick aiming towards the player at the back post, but just overhit it. Antigua and Barbuda had the ball in the back of the net for a third time. The player with the goal there was Joshua James, getting his head onto the free kick, but it was eventually overturned by referee Kareem Benjamin, as we saw the player there quite puzzled with the decision. Seemed to be a fair crack at goal, but referee Benjamin had the final say. And in the end, Antigua and Barbuda coming away with a 2-1 victory to start this Group A in Tier 2 of the Caribbean Football Union's Under-14 Challenge Series here at the Larry Gomes Stadium in Arima. Stay tuned here on our streams for the second match this afternoon coming up, which will see Barbados taking on St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Kickoff from 4 p.m. also here at the Larry Gomes Stadium.